have wanted to make a video about my skin for a really long time, just because I know so many people that like struggle with their skin. Like, it's something that I thought it was never gonna get better, and then it did. So I just wanted to kind of make a video about like what I did with my skin and what worked. Obviously this isn't gonna work for everyone, but my skin was so bad and I thought my skin was literally never gonna get better, and it did. My skin was honestly fine for like, I would say the majority of high school, which I guess is good because that's when you kind of like actually care what people think, and high school already sucks. I started noticing that I was breaking out more around, I would say, when I was in grade 12, and of course it's the end of the world, so I wanted to fix it the fastest possible way. I, like every teen does when they start breaking out, went on Proactive. Proactive works for some people and some people absolutely love it, which, hey, that's totally fine, but a couple of the reasons why it works so well is because it has fucking bleach in it, and it's so harsh that it's literally just like burning your skin, and that's what makes it clear. But as soon as you go off Proactive, like your skin goes right back to what it was. So I went on Proactive, burnt the first layer of my skin off. It was awful. I literally looked like I got jumped. My face was just destroyed. My mom felt so bad for me. I had to stay inside. I couldn't go anywhere, and I had to wear Nivea cream all over my face because it was in so much pain, and nothing was making it better except for that. Literally looked like Mrs. Doubtfire for a week. Hello! Yeah, that didn't work. Kind of fluctuated for the next couple years. It wasn't too bad. I remember it clearing up and me being like, oh, it was probably just a phase. Just after I graduated high school, a couple months after that, it started to get bad again. After that, it fluctuated on and off, and it was manageable. It wasn't that bad. I tried just being a little bit more diligent about taking care of my skin. So like I had a skincare routine and stuff that I started using, and that seemed to kind of keep it somewhat under control. But at that point, it wasn't bad enough that I was noticing, or that I wanted to like seriously do something about it. Then I think for about 2 years it was kind of on and off, but for the most part it was fine. I didn't have too many issues. Then it started to slowly get bad again. I noticed it because I remember I had started talking to my boyfriend at that point, and I remember I was so embarrassed of my skin at that point because it had gotten pretty bad. Of course, when I would hang out with him, I would pile makeup on my face because I didn't want him to see it, which, let's be real, that doesn't work. Foundation makes your skin look worse if you have acne or texture or even dry skin. Foundation is literally for people who have perfectly smooth skin, which then it makes no sense because you have perfectly smooth skin. You don't need to wear foundation, but whatever. So I would put so much makeup on, and I remember then it got to the point where I started sleeping over at his house. I can remember being so upset because I didn't want to take my makeup off because I didn't want him to see what my skin looked like without makeup on. So we would be going to bed and all cute and like lovey-dovey, and I would just roll over and just cry myself to sleep because I was sleeping with my makeup on, and I knew that that was so bad and it was probably making it 10 times worse. So then when my boyfriend Chris, when we started dating, I finally was like, I'm so self-conscious of my skin and I fucking hate it. And he was like, why? Shut up. You can obviously tell. And he genuinely was like, I really can't. Who knows? To this day, could have been lying. He could have just been being nice. And if he was, thank you. At that point, I just was kind of like, okay. And I finally just stopped wearing makeup. The best thing ever. I didn't have to worry about wearing makeup around him. When I would sleep over at his house, I could bring all my face wash stuff and just wash my face, and I didn't have to worry about sleeping with my makeup on. So that made it so much better. And he is a literal angel and would just constantly be like, oh my gosh, your skin looks really good today, or oh my gosh, your skin's getting clear, like it's getting better. So just like made me feel a lot better about it. So I at least didn't have that self-consciousness about my skin because I really didn't care about it around him. The only thing that sucked was in the place that I work, people would literally comment on my skin because I work in skincare, and they would have the balls to just be like, well, your skin's really bad, so I don't really want to use what you're using. Okay, it's fine, it's great. So that was quite annoying, but that actually ended up making me be a little bit more open about my skin. And you know, when people would come in, I would be like, oh, well, like, I have really bad skin, as you can obviously see. Like, I was just more open with it. Clients who came in that had skin issues, it kind of made them feel a little bit more comfortable. And it was nice because then I would have clients coming back being like, oh my gosh, look at my skin, like what you recommended really helped. And at that point I thought, oh, you know, people are listening to my recommendations and they're working. I should try and blog about skincare. Why I decided to do that, who knows? Because at that point where I was working, I was already trying so many different skincare products and didn't really think that was probably making it worse. So then I decided to start a blog about trying more skincare stuff. So that initially made it worse because I literally was trying every day. I was trying a different product. So I think I was just putting so much shit on my face that it just kept getting worse and worse. Blog was a short run. And then my mom was the one that was kind of like, you know, it's like getting to the point, you know, when moms try and be nice, but they know they're about to hurt your feelings. So they're kind of like, you know, I think, and you're just like, just say it, mom. Just come on. So my mom was like, your skin is getting to the point where, not that she was saying my skin looked bad, but she was almost concerned, like it looked painful, and it was. So she just was like, maybe you should like chill on how much stuff you're using. And of course, where I work, I need to wear makeup every day. So she was like, maybe you should kind of consider what you're putting on your face. I started just chilling on how much products I was using. So I really just stuck to one skincare routine that I had been trying that I really liked. And I looked at what I was using for my makeup and really stopped, again, wearing so many different foundations or trying so many different foundations. I kind of found something that was a little bit more lightweight, geared towards someone who
Have you ever had a dream that
geared towards someone who breaks out a lot? I noticed that helped, but then my mom was like, you might like want to see a doctor and just see if maybe they have something that they can that they can do. So I went and saw my doctor and she prescribed me with a medication. It's called apominocycline. I literally take it twice a day. I started that and she did tell me that I had to be on it for a certain period of time for it to fully like actually kick in, but usually people start seeing results around 6 months. The first month I took it, like not much, but I didn't expect anything. Around the second month I noticed that a lot of the swelling was going down because I had cystic acne, so it was like big, painful, like gross one. Third month, it was smooth, just like red. By the fourth month, it was like okay, and by the fifth month, it started clearing up, and by the sixth month, like my skin was literally like did a complete flip. Even the girls at work, 'cause they obviously see me every day, and I complained about my skin every day. They said like, your skin looks so different. Even clients that, you know, were regulars were like, oh my gosh, what did you do to your skin? So I was like,
yay, this is working.
My dumbass is like, don't need it anymore. Went off it, even though my doctor specifically told me had to be on it for a certain period of time for it to fully work. So what had been happening when my skin was fluctuating was it would be really good in the summer, I guess because of the sun, but then it would get really bad in the winter. I went off the medication like, I don't know, in September. So it was fine. And then all of a sudden the cold rolled around, November came and my skin got worse again. It went right back to what it was. And this time it was bad. Like it
exploded.
At this point, I was like, fuck. But I don't know why I didn't think to go back on the medication. I just didn't. It fluctuated. And at this point, we were coming up to, it was March, and it was a year before I was going to be moving here. I'm from Ontario. I moved here to Vancouver. So I remember for that year, it kind of just like fluctuated. And then following March, before I was gonna move to Vancouver, I actually finally went back on the medication because nothing was working. And then I went on vacation right before I moved with my boyfriend. And of course I went to the Dominican. I wasn't wearing makeup. I was in the sun. I was in like the ocean. So my skin cleared up. When I moved to Vancouver in May, my skin was almost fully clear. And I don't know why I thought the air would be cleaner here or it would be better, but I figured I would get here with clear skin and then it would just go up. There's no going down from there. That I thought. Moved, first week, my skin was totally fine. I wasn't wearing makeup because I was moving and I was, you know, doing touristy shit with my family. And then all of a sudden, when I thought my skin exploded before, no.
My whole face exploded.
Before, it was just like a beard. Now, beard, forehead, like whole face.
Exploded.
At this point, I'm pissed because I thought it was getting better. But I'm still on my medication at this point, but it's only been 2 months. So I was like, fuck. I know that it's gonna take a little bit. These are pictures of what my skin looked like when I first got here. So this is what it looked like when I first got here. It was just like, just bumps everywhere. My forehead was covered in like bumps and texture. My jawline was all covered in acne. And it just got worse from there. These are progression pictures of how much worse it got. It just, nothing was working. Like I tried the dietary thing. I tried, you know, like literally everything. And at this point it was getting so bad that to open my mouth, to talk, to eat, it hurt so bad. I wasn't sleeping because I was so stressed out about it and it was so painful. I called my mom bawling like I don't know how many times because I was so upset. And at this point I had got more self-conscious about what it looked like because I don't know. I think because my skin was so bad and I was so paranoid, I always think, you know, when people have acne, the automatic assumption from other people is that they lack hygiene or they're dirty or they don't wash their face or they probably don't wash their makeup off. When really it's either no idea, I'm just breaking out for some reason. It can be genetic, which on my dad's side of the family, we have had like issues, like a couple of my cousins have had skin issues, my sister struggles with skin issues, so it can be genetic or it can be like just so many different things. So I think I just honestly was miserable, like so fucking over it when like couldn't handle it. Of course, again, I work in a place that I need to wear makeup every day and I'm trying to help people find makeup for their skin to look good. And it's just, I mean, I'm helping clients. I can constantly see them looking at my face and looking at my acne and it's just like the worst feeling. And I moved here for school, for makeup school. So I was also, one, putting makeup on and taking it off every day at school. And I was the only fucking person in my class that had bad skin, of course. I mean, my class is small. There's only 7 people, but all of them have like porcelain skin. They were all really nice about it. Like I'm very open about my skin. So I said to them, I was like, I'm sorry if you're partners with me, I have really shitty fucking skin. But yeah, at this point, my mom was like, I feel so bad. You have been struggling with this for literally the past 5 years. And the one thing that my doctor wanted to do was put me on the pill, but because of previous medical stuff with like my mom and me, I wasn't able to go on it, but they like rechecked everything and I was able to go on it. So this is a video I took the day that I went and saw the doctor and like got all my like hormone levels and all that stuff tested and went and got a prescription for like a birth control specifically for acne. This is what my skin looked like then, and this was when it was at its like peak. I was miserable. It's not looking great. See how this shit is going, because right now this shit's fucking painful. So obviously the doctor told me that it was going to be a while before I was going to see results for the birth control. And at this point, I just wanted the pain and the swelling to go away. That was the main thing. I was like, I don't care how it looks. Hopefully that will be fixed soon, but like I cannot stand how much in pain I am.
Can't handle it.
Then I started doing a bunch of research because I had a literal meltdown. I like was bawling my eyes out and like hyperventilating because that's how bad you feel when you have bad skin. If you've never broken out before,
Eat a bag of dicks.
if you don't know what it's like to break out, or you have one tiny blemish every once in a while, it's one of the worst things. And it sounds so superficial and, oh, I break out, like I'm worried about, it's not even about the looks. Well, it is because you feel so self-conscious. It's anytime you have a conversation with someone, all you're thinking, well, at least me personally, all I'm thinking about is if they're looking at my skin, if they're looking at all my pimples, like it's just a really shitty feeling. So to struggle with it for so long or to have tried everything and nothing's working, you just feel like shit. So at this point, I just wanted the pain gone. So then I started doing a bunch of research. So then I found an article about CBD oil, which has become a very popular topic for like pain and pain relief and anxiety. And I found a bunch of articles that talked about people that not only it helped with like the pain and like the stress of feeling stressed about their skin, but it actually cleared up their skin. So I was like, fuck it, I might as well. So I went out and got CBD oil and started taking that, and then I just thought I was putting so much shit on my face. I was like, I'm gonna cut everything down. So I cut down my whole skincare routine, my whole makeup routine. The CBD oil, within the first week of taking it, all pain, all inflammation, and all the swelling was gone. And not only was it gone, but I was sleeping better, my mood was better, I wasn't as like triggered by things, I wasn't as angry. I literally was so much calmer. My mood was way better. I was sleeping better. My skin was fully pain-free. Then the more I started using it, the more that my skin started clearing up with the rest of my skincare routine. I will show you my makeup and skincare routine and the products that I'm using now. I will say the CBD oil absolutely cleared up my skin the fastest out of everything I've ever tried. But then I think the fact of a continuous simple routine is keeping it maintained. But my skin has literally, I don't even remember the last time it was this smooth and this clear. Obviously I have makeup on because I just came home from work. You can obviously tell, like I have a very, very light, like I have a BB cream on that is barely coverage, and I have a powder over top. So I mean, I have a little bit of scarring, which I really don't care about compared to what my skin was before, but when you have makeup on and you have really bad acne, you can see it. It's like that meme. It looks like a fucking Hershey's cookies and cream bar. With makeup on, my skin is just even, like the tone is even. I don't have any redness. I'm gonna go wash my face and I will show you what my face looks like without makeup on, and also what I'm using for my skincare routine. My face is washed. I have all my makeup off, so I obviously have some residual scarring, but again, all of this is smooth. Like, and honestly, that's all I care about. So I have a little bit of scarring, which is actually getting much better with all of the products that I'm using. But I mean, compared to what it was, I am totally happy with this. For my skincare routine, these are the wipes I use. They're from Shoppers. I've used them forever. I find they're the only thing that, one, does not burn my eyes or my face, because I find some wipes, I don't know what's on them, but they burn a little bit, in my experience. I know I'm so out of breath. I literally just walked to the bathroom in here. So the other things that I need to add to my list, getting in shape is one of them. And I find they actually get a lot of like eye makeup off, liquid lipstick. So they're just from Shoppers, 3-in-1 facial cleansing wipes. If you've known me for a while, you know that I'm obsessed with the Sephora Collection cleansing oil. So I've tried so many different cleansing oils at my work, and I find I always end up coming back to this one. It's $19. It gets everything off. But two runner-ups are the Caudalie cleansing oil and the Tatcha cleansing oil. Both love those two, and my skin works really well with them. Now for my cleanser. If you work in either the beauty industry or you work in skincare, you're gonna judge me.
I don't give a fuck.
So I've tried so many cleansers, and not just for like a day, like months on end. And some of them worked for a little bit, then didn't, and just like I could not find a good cleanser. And so many people that I talk to, especially clients that come in and, you know, had similar issues to me and had breakouts, they all used fucking Dove soap. Now, when I first started out in the beauty industry and working in skincare and whatnot, I definitely judged people who used Dove soap. And I was like,
what the fuck are you doing? Do not use Dove soap on your face. That is awful.
But every person that told me they used Dove soap, their face was so clear. Like, they didn't have a breakout. They maybe had an issue with a little bit of dryness, but like, that's it. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try it. And you know what? It works. So my cleanser, I literally use a bar of Dove soap, the unscented one.
Judge me what you want.
My exfoliant, I find I was having troubles with exfoliant because I was getting such strong ones, because I was like,
Exfoliate the acne, get it off.
but really that is literally just spreading the infection everywhere, because That's what it is. Cystic acne, it is an infection. So if you're like popping it or, you know, exfoliating and it's bursting and spreading, like it's just spreading the infection. I started using the Tatcha rice enzyme powder. It is kind of more on the expensive side, but it's also huge. So really, when you work out how much you're buying and how much you're spending on other ones, it ends up being not expensive because you buy it like once a year. But I just find that this is so gentle, yet it gets rid of any, you know, texture or dry skin. Just keeps my skin really smooth. So I like this one because it's gentle but really effective. For my toner, I feel like toners are honestly the hardest thing to find, and it's also like, do I really need to use it? Do I not? You do, it helps. I got the new Caudalie Vino Pure Toner, literal game changer. It's so good. I find other toners either like burn your face or they don't really do anything, or it's just, they're very irrelevant. They're just not much is happening. My pores were huge before I started using this, and they're a lot tighter now, which obviously makes them appear smaller. And my makeup stays on a lot better throughout the day. I found before I was getting really, really oily. So this has really helped to control some of that oil and balance out my skin. So I'm just like a normalized skin type. For my oils, I do use CBD oil, but I ran out of it, and it's really expensive. Well, not really expensive, but it's $80. And I mean, compared to what I was spending on skincare before, I don't mind spending it. I just literally don't have money right now. I need to pay my rent. So I don't have it right now, but I have been using it up until I ran out of it. For right now, what I've been using instead of the CBD oil is from Youth to the People. It's just like a glow oil. I love it. It's really, really hydrating. Youth to the People is a little bit of a cleaner skincare brand, as are all of these skincare brands. So just very minimal ingredients in them. So I really like this oil, and I use it in conjunction with bio oil. This I find is really, really helping with my scarring. It helps with old and new damage. So it's personally, out of all of the different things I've tried for scarring, this works the best. My moisturizer is the Ren Overnight Recovery Balm. So even though it's overnight, I use it morning and night because I love it. The texture of it is terrifying. It looks like Vaseline kind of, but you need the littlest bit, and my skin loves it. I love it. It keeps my skin really hydrated, so I feel like that's why my skin isn't dry from washing my face with a bar of soap. But yeah, it just really helps with calming and soothing, and again, helping with redness. So this is my all-time favorite moisturizer. I do use an eye cream, which I didn't grab because I ran out of it, and I didn't restock my eye cream because I had a really traumatic eye experience that happened. So I do normally use the Drunk Elephant Sea Tango eye cream, which I love. From Lush, steam my face once a week with their little tablets. So they have a tea tree one, or they have a rosebud one. The rosebud is really good for like redness. The tea tree one is really good for like just decongestion. So they look like this. They're little tablets. So all you have to do is, like, I boil water in a kettle. So I boil water, pour it in a bowl, and then you pop the tablet in there, and then you just like hold your face, and the steam just rises and steams your face. So I usually do this once a week. All of that has really, really been working and getting my skin from terrible to not so terrible. For my makeup, I use the Laneige BB cushion. I've been using this for a really long time now. It is one of my favorites. It's super lightweight. It honestly just slightly evens everything out without it looking like I'm wearing a ton of makeup. And it comes with two, so you get one like this and then you get a refill. So I literally only buy this pretty much once a year because I don't use a ton of it. Oh my god. I love this. There's an SPF 50 in it, which is also good. And then over top, I just used the Sephora Collection Micro Smooth Baked Powder. So this actually got discontinued, and so many of us that either work at Sephora or just clients that used it complained that they actually brought it back. Just honestly makes your skin look super smooth and really glowy and healthy. And it never gives that like weird powdery look that some powders can give. So that is all I use on my face. And then of course like highlighter and bronzer. And I don't wear primer. I think primer is a lie. So many of you probably disagree with me. I don't think it works. I have tried every single primer out there. And even now that my skin is like better, because before I was like, oh, maybe my skin was just so bad that that's why my makeup wasn't holding up. Every time I wear primer, my makeup looks like shit at the end of the day, and I always break out from it. So I don't like primer. I think it's a lie. So I don't use it, and my skin or my makeup holds up just fine. And I also don't wear concealer. I find that has really, really helped. And then of course, all those little things, like I honestly wash my pillowcases like once or twice a week, and I'm way better at cleaning my makeup brushes now just because of how much I don't want my skin to go back to what it was. If you honestly struggle with your skin, or you have been struggling with your skin and nothing is working, don't give up hope, because I literally wanted to take a blowtorch to my face just to have new skin, and stuff finally works. So I feel like it really just comes down to like going so deep into ingredients, which I know is so annoying, but it honestly helps in really just simplifying your routine and having a proper skincare routine, but not going overboard and using so many products and flip-flopping with products. I know it sucks to struggle with your skin, and sometimes it seems like nothing will work, but you really just have to kind of look into what you're using. And sometimes we think we need to compensate by using so many different things, when really we might need to actually use less is more. But I will say the CBD oil, if people are breaking out and they haven't tried it, 10 out of 10 recommend trying it, because I think it's one of the things that actually worked the best and got my skin to start clearing up, so everything could kind of all work in conjunction together. I will put the links of everything that I'm using in my skincare routine down below. I don't know how to end these things, so I'm done.